We've posted a couple of videos about spanking and what does the Bible say and does the Bible require it. I would encourage you to watch those videos. This video is simply about some principles about spanking that we've utilized as parents. Let me give you a few of them. Number one, spanking is for your children. Every principle in the Bible is about disciplining your own children. I would advise you to never spank someone else's children, ever. Number two, pain is a gift from God. If we want to think about spanking biblically, we got to remember this principle. Pain is a gift from God. When we hit our finger with a hammer, it hurts. When we have cancer in our body, eventually our body hurts. It tells us something's wrong. That's a blessing and not a curse. If you have a disease where you never feel pain, you'll eventually die. Pain is a gift from God. So disciplining children is introducing pain to help them not ultimately hurt themselves. When a 3-year-old runs out into the street, they may not have gotten hit by a car, but they could have. Discipline is about introducing some type of pain that makes your child say, I don't think I should ever do that again. So that pain could be, you're done playing outside today because you didn't obey. That's appropriate pain. That didn't require spanking. A third principle, there are options for discipline. I'd say that natural and logical consequences are preferred over artificial consequences like spanking. We used spanking only when a natural or logical consequence can't easily be found or it's not effective in some way, maybe because they're too young to understand a natural or logical consequence. But I would say this, when I was a young teen, I got hit by a car riding my bike. It was my fault, it was stupid, I was riding in an improper way, and my parents didn't punish me after that. I suffered a natural consequence. I got hit by a car. They didn't need to punish me further. I learned my lesson. What caused me to get hit by that car, I never wanted to do that again. It was a natural consequence. Now, if I hadn't gotten hit by the car, but I still did something stupid that was dangerous and against what they told me, perhaps they would need to introduce a logical consequence, like not allowing me to ride my bike for a period of time. I loved riding my bike at that age. That would have been a logical consequence. I could give a lot of examples. If a child isn't sharing their toys well, a consequence might be during playtime, they have to be up in their room playing when their siblings are having fun in the playroom together because they have to learn to play well with others. And if that's not painful for them, you have to think of another option. There are options for consequences. It doesn't have to be spanking. A fourth principle, artificial pain, spanking, was only used under a couple of conditions in our house. Number one, we only spanked our daughters when they were under the age of 6. I could count on one hand the total amount of spankings our 3 children received combined above the age of 5. Secondly, we only spanked for direct, intentional, deliberate disobedience. So almost all of our spanking was before the age of 6. By the time they hit 6, there were logical consequences that introduced pain that helped them not make sinful choices. But before that, the short-term pain of spanking helped clearly and effectively and lovingly communicate correction. You can't always reason well with a 2-year-old. They need to know what they did was wrong and that they shouldn't do it again. So we only spanked for deliberate disobedience. We didn't spank for misunderstanding, for forgetting, for making incorrect choice. We spanked for disobedience. And there's an entire philosophy behind that, but it would make this video too long. Number 5, spanking is short-term pain. If it hurts for 5 minutes, I think that might be too harsh of a spanking. It should hurt, it should be painful, but it should be over quickly. Never am I in favor of spanking in a way that leaves bruise or marks or cuts. In fact, we use a ping pong paddle to spread the love across the entire behind. It hurt for a minute or two, but then it was over. The Bible says we shouldn't provoke our children to wrath, and spanking poorly done provokes to wrath. It doesn't correct. Number 6, remember the goal is correction. The goal is correction. It's not for you to express your anger, to make a point. The goal is correction. It's to help them know it wasn't worth it. So the principles, very briefly. 1, it's for your children only. 2, pain is a gift from God. 3, when possible, use natural or logical consequences. Number 4, only use spanking for direct, deliberate disobedience when they're young. 5, it should be temporary pain, short-term pain. And number 6, keep the goal in mind. It's correction. When used and thought about in that way, spanking can be a helpful tool in correcting your children.